How's it going, Jets fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Moran, and today we want to discuss the 5 players that the Jets placed on the physically unable to perform list. Of course, this seems to be more precautionary than anything, but it is worthwhile to discuss and get you guys the updated information as training camp quickly approaches. But before we dive into these 5 players, Ryan, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Alex. So obviously this came yesterday, a couple days after the Jeremy Ruckert news that they placed him on the non-football injury list. And with the veterans reporting in less than 5 days now, you're starting to see some of just these early injury reports get released. And yesterday, obviously, I think the 2 headliners to most were Mekhi Becton and George Fant, obviously the 2 offensive tackles. And also you had Carl Lawson, who coming off the Achilles, it wasn't really too surprising, I think. And also CJ Uzama as well, who obviously had that injury there late in the Bengals Super Bowl run last season. So those were really the few key guys. And I think the main takeaway that's worth noting here is that I think the Jets are really just trying to play it safe, similar to Jeremy Ruckert. These guys really did no work this offseason. Obviously, Becton really wasn't at the facility until practices became mandatory up until about 5 weeks ago. So I think that they just want to really get these guys up to football speed. Obviously being in, workout shape is one thing, but you want to get these guys as many reps and just as ready to go for full pads of football in training camp early here. And I think that's really just what they're trying to do with all these guys.
Yeah, look, take it easy. Make sure these guys are healthy. There's no reason to rush some of them into training camp and try to aggravate some injuries or whatever it might be. We know that Mekhi Becton did come to camp a little bit overweight, but he's been working really hard and diligently. Apparently, Duke Manyweather or whoever his offensive line coach is, I think it's Duke, Big Duke on Twitter, said he's been getting up early and pushing sleds and just doing all the hard work to get ready for the season. So you love to hear that. Seems to be more precautionary. And then, there is implications, though, to being on the PUP list. If they don't activate any of these players before the regular season begins, they miss 4 weeks of the regular season. So that is the only implication to be aware of, but I do not believe any of these guys are really on that side of things. I do believe it's more precautionary. Becton, obviously, working his way back, seems to be healthy after the knee injury last year. And then George Fant, he's probably just needs a couple days just to get healthy and get ready to go here. And Carl Lawson, we saw the video. We kind of reacted to it a couple days ago, and he looks like he's back to his full strength and health. So you love to see that. And CJ Uzoma obviously had that injury last year going into the Super Bowl, played anyway. So, obviously he's capable of playing. Those are the 4 main guys we're discussing here. But I'll ask you this, man. When it comes to Mekhi Becton, he's probably the one that we're most concerned about. He's probably the one that, there's a lot of questions regarding, especially since, we don't know who is going to be the left tackle. We imagine Font is going to win that job because of the reliability and chemistry he has with Zach Wilson. But moving forward, does this injury to Mekhi Becton seem more precautionary to you? Does it seem like something we should be a little bit concerned, or at least just keep an eye on as things develop here in the coming weeks?
It's very interesting. I think you can make, anyone out there could really make a valid argument on both, ends here. I think with Becton, there was some expectation last year that he could make it back late in the season, and obviously he did not. Now, I think it comes back to what I said, he wasn't really around for any of the voluntary stuff. So they really did not get to see him up until the mandatory practice, probably, what was that, 5-6 weeks ago in early June. So to me, you just want these guys, like I said, getting like actual football experience, and, working out is great, and that's part of the job, but it's not everything when you're talking about getting these guys out there on the practice field in a couple of weeks or a couple of days now in full pads. So to me, I understand it from both ends. I think it's fair to be concerned, because the injury was almost 12 months ago now, when you look at the fact that it was in week 1 of September last year. So you would obviously hope that, he's continuing to progress. I know Salah was on ESPN and said that he's been in the building a ton, or like every day over the last 40 or so days, and he's been putting the work in, and he's in much better shape. So I think that's just what you want to continue to hear and really see from Becton here as, training camp gets underway.
Right. I mean, look, this is a big position battle for the Jets, arguably one of the biggest on the team. I'd say Mekhi Becton, George Fant, it's up for grabs, that left tackle spot. And honestly, if you're looking for the big money, playing left tackle is what you want to be. So if you're George Fant, you want that left tackle spot, because if he gets an extension, he's going to get more money than he would be playing at right tackle. So he has extra incentive there. Becton, on the other hand, still on his rookie deal, so not as pressing when it comes to the monetary side of things, unless they want to franchise tag him one day, and then it'll be left tackle instead of right tackle, and you get a little bit more. There's definitely financial implications that do play a part there. But I will say that it's going to be fun to watch. This is going to be an interesting little position battle at left tackle. The loser, I guess, ends up at right tackle, but still, like you still have these two guys playing at the end of the day. Carl Lawson, we discussed in depth a couple of days ago, his qualities, the absolute monster amount of power he contains. So, very much an impact player there. Jeremy Rucker being placed on the injury list definitely has implications to the tight end group. You still have Tyler Conklin, who is, more than healthy. He's ready to go. Uzoma, I believe, will be healthy come the next couple of days when training camp does get underway, guys. But just want to give you guys a little bit of an update here on the players that were placed on the PUP list. Nothing to be too concerned about. I think more precautionary than anything, as Ryan has attested to as well. When training camp gets started, we will get you guys all the necessary information and make sure you guys are caught up with everything you need to know about this New York Jets team. Make sure to like and subscribe below, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.